Good day to our amazing listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. And for today's episode, we are diving once more into the life of one of our talented hired VAs. And my name is Sweet, and without further ado, let's get to know our guests a little bit better. Hi,
Hi,
Ira. Welcome to the
hi.
podcast. I love the smile. How
Happy
are
to
you
be here.
today?
I'm doing great. Great way to start my Monday. So I'm gonna be throughout all the week, effectively and proactive.
Yeah, that is so great. And yeah, I have a beautiful smile right off the bat. I would like to ask you, what made you smile today?
Of course, I have an energy. Also, I'm determined, and also I'm very proactive every nighttime. So I'm this kind
Mm,
of job is really for me. I'm a night owl anyway. So and I love my client as well. So what more can I ask for?
love that. Love that totally. And yeah, as a night owl, can you give us a little bit about the background of how you started your journey as a virtual assistant?
Sure. So actually, Spear Record is my second VA company. So I had
Mm-hmm.
my first one before. I'm not gonna say the name, but this is my second time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been like Spear actually was my first one to be like getting in when I was proactively looking for a remote job or virtual assistant job. But the first time that email sent me was the other company was I was just okay, it's fine. And then unfortunately my previous client died for a car accident, something like that. So I think the great way to, just out of respect of my client, so I had to like step out or separate myself to my previous VA company and then
Mm-hmm.
look for another opportunity. And then yeah, I'm really happy to Spear Rocket emailed me and then interviewed me for an initial interview. I got in and for a final interview, and then after two interviews after the client, I met my wonderful client today. Like my client, previously working on my client right now.
Love that. So how could you with your previous VA, like the first time that you landed a VA job? So how could you compare a little bit? Like how would you like what are the comparisons based on what you have experienced before versus what you experience with the process with Sphere Rocket?
Of course. So actually, they're both great,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just different industry. So I've been with virtual, oh no, real estate industry actually. This time it's gonna be under the doctor. So this is my first time of being a virtual assistant of a doctor. So there's a lot of new things to learn, and I'm really glad that my client is really willing to teach us what we don't know. But I'm all for that. Like I'm all for growth. So I want to know more about medical stuff. I'm not even like I haven't even graduated for college. Like I didn't even finish my studies, but it's a good thing that I really enhanced my communication skills and I got part of the virtual assistant world, like industry. So I was just very grateful that I met my client. But for overall, they're both great. Like they, as an entrepreneur, they actually thought their followers or their employees very like their family, like they teach us
Yeah.
like yeah they teach us every day, like they are okay even if they're busy, that they can just tell us like if you have any questions you can just ask us, like I know you guys are new to this industry but we are here to teach you. So that's a really
Yeah,
great, yeah.
very hands-on client that you have. That's really great. Congratulations with that. And yeah, with your current client, you mentioned that you're in like a medical field as a VA. So can you share to us a little bit about what you're doing since you are a sales and executive VA in that field? So what are you do on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. So I don't ask much, and that's what our client, like about us because we're two VAs got hired from Spear. So
Mm-hmm.
what she liked me about us because we don't ask much about the things that what we have to do for the day. We just like proactively look for the tasks like on the tool that we use every day, and we just search like whatever that we can do. Like we already have an experience, so I don't. We don't really need to like, hey, do you have anything that assigned to us? Do we need to do this? Like we just have our own initiative, like to do it on
Yeah.
our own. That's what they like about us. So I'm just great that, I already have an experience of being a virtual assistant and also what the things that we do in the past for the previous work that I had. But it's even though it's a different industry, but still it's just the same task. But maybe it's the great way to being working independently and just
Yeah.
working like working at home and working remotely. I think you just have to like, if they already assigned you the tool, they already for the day one, they already assign you everything that what you do, and also for the job description at first for the final interview, you already know that, well, what is the purpose for you to be on the client.
Mhm.
So for us, we already know what to do. So that's what they like about us. Like we don't need really ask much. And if there is no task at all that we had to do, that's when we're going to like, hey, do you need something to add? Or because we're good at the day. So if you don't have anything, we're just gonna be like. So that's what they like about us because we don't really ask much. We just do it initiatively. We don't like, hey, what do you need to do? Like we're just not doing
Yeah.
anything. But
Wow.
we have to make sure that we
Mhm.
do like the task that been assigned to us, even if it's not everyday huddle. But we have the sales meeting huddle, but it's for all the meeting, like for all the sales executive. But it's not just like assigned to a VAs. It's just gonna be part of you who's gonna be like, he's gonna be like on you if you're gonna be doing that or not. But that's start for the integrity. Like that's
Yeah.
the really important of being a VA. Like you really have to be focused on that. Like you have to be honest and all, and you just have to do your part as a VA.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that is every client's dream to really have a very proactive and a VA that really has integrity to like have that initiative to always ask them what they could help them. And that was really great that you have that. And you mentioned a while ago, Ira, that you haven't finished study yet. So you mean you're like a student? So how old are you?
I'm 24, turning
Huh?
25 this February. So yeah, I'm still young, as you can say. I'm
Yeah,
still on my
so young. I
prime.
thought you were 19 or
I'm 24. I did not finish my college, and I don't have any plan finishing my college. I mean, I'm already earning my own money. Like I'm financially stable. I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna waste my time and just work on the field that I don't. Well, before I
yeah.
was like, thinking about if I'm gonna be pursuing my study and then work at the same time, is it gonna be a hustle for me or is it going to be was looking back that time when I was really thinking about or just deciding what I'm going to do, but since I'm already earning, so I don't think I'm going to be pursuing my study anymore since I enhances my communication skills by watching
Yeah.
movies, watching animes, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to pursue my studies. I think I'm good with this one. I'm just so determined to learn, so that's why I have the skills that I have right now.
Yeah, that was really great, actually, Ira. I genuinely thought like you're 19 because you really look young. Yeah, and I meant that as a compliment. And yeah, and yeah, I agree with you. Like nothing really against with like those who finish their studies or have their diplomas. I mean, whatever floats your boat, right? In this like kind of industry or career path that you really chooses. So how did you like find out about like the VA industry and what made it so appealing to you since you're very I can feel the energy that you're really very determined to like really grow and pursue this career path.
Sure. So I've done physical job before. That was my really first employment. I was a casino dealer. So I was been
Mhm.
in like, doing some casino thing like for over a year, I could say. But it's different from BPO industry or from virtual assistant industry. But
Yeah.
my brother actually gave me that, like he encouraged me to do freelance world, to go in freelance world because he was doing freelance for maybe about 5 years, I could say.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking, like, I don't want to, I couldn't even want to, like, I was like thinking about it. Like, my brother would just woke up 10 minutes before his shift. And I would like wake up every morning 3 hours
Yeah.
before my shift. So I was like, oh my god, this is so struggle because I have
Mhm.
to like travel and in Manila, like I'm living in Metro Manila, the traffic it's really bad. So I really had to wake up at 3 hours before from my shift so I could travel and all. And I was like, I've done physical job and maybe I could maybe consider working as a VA or maybe try to go in a freelance world. And that's still a thing as well. Like when I was doing that casino job, I was actually earning, I was saving money for a laptop. So that's the only thing that
Mhm.
could help me to go into a VA world. So the good thing about it as well, my brother helped me out with that. And he also told me like, yeah, it's not really that. I mean, it's different from the industry that you had previously worked for,
Mhm.
but being as a VA is not really that hard if you could just, determine to learn. So you also have that initiative to like research for yourself, like do your own research. That's what I do. Like I will watch a lot of YouTube videos. I've also Googled
Mhm.
everything what I don't know, like what is freelance. I haven't really thought about freelancing before because I know it's not a stable job because it really depends on the client, which, if they're gonna pull you out or whatever. It's not
Yeah.
you're not an employee, see? But it's just a matter of time, or it really depends as well of how you really work hard and also the commitment and honesty in the relationship between you and your client. That's really depends, because if you have that good foundation that you have built with your client, I don't think they would just let you go. Like you're
I
you're actually an asset for them. So that's the thing that I've learned for being a virtual assistant, that you just have to be, like you're just you are at your own comfort. You're actually working independently, you're working at home, you can even work remotely as long as you have a stable internet connection. So
yeah.
yeah, I was like thinking, okay, what else I could ask for? And it pays well as well. Like, wow. Like I'm
Let's
not
see.
gonna be like travel anymore, worry about traffic, worry about waking up early. I can just stay at
Mhm.
home. I can just be somewhere else where I could have a good internet connection as long as, I can do my job. And then, I don't have it's gonna be hassle free. So that's the way started being a freelancing world.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And yeah, what a beautiful story that you have since you've like mentioned you work in the physical jobs and then transition into being a VA. And I can see it in your face that you really love this industry so far. And so how long have you been in the VA industry again, or with Sphere Rocket?
It's for VA, for freelancing, it's gonna be over a year, but for Spear, it's gonna be 1 month. For
That's great. That's
wow.
great. Yeah. So now that you have been working remotely for over a year now, so how do you like manage that work-life balance? Since you seem like you have like an extroverted energy, I feel like I'm just assuming here, so I'm not sure if you're really an extrovert. But yeah, how do you manage like still having social life if you're like working remotely full time?
Exactly. When I'm still in my prime, I'm still 25, but I already had outgrown that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like going out anymore that much. I used to before. Well, maybe
Mm-hmm.
there's a pros and cons when COVID happened. Like when COVID happened, of course, we all got locked down. So I think that's the moment of truth. Like that's actually realized it. I actually realized that I think it's much valuable just stay at home, like just spending money outside. Just having the nightlife. I mean, I already experienced all that, and I was thinking I think I'm already getting rid of those, of those stuff. I'm not gonna be going back out there anymore. So I was like, yeah, like for me, I was just thinking maybe I could just get save my own money. I
Mm-hmm.
just but of course, I mean, there's also pros and cons of working remotely because you're just gonna be you and yourself working nighttime.
Yeah.
But what I do actually, I shift my body clock. So daytime in the Philippines, nighttime in the US. Nighttime in the US is gonna be daytime in the Philippines. So what I do, I follow my client's schedule. So I could just like sleep during daytime and work during nighttime. So I could just, I'm not gonna be like very groggy when I clock in. So what I do
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
just I always have to like make sure as well that I'm gonna be having that 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. So I always have to make sure of that because that's the important thing as well because it won't be matter if you're saving money if you're working but you're not even taking care of yourself. So that's the only
Agree.
asset that you have. You have to take care of yourself since you're working during nighttime, and then that's what I do. I just like take care of myself, take care of my job. The most priority of the most all is I have to love my job, and I love my job of course. And maybe what actually encouraged me the most and also my everyday day to day motivation is to like because having a relationship with a client like with your boss, like if you
Mm-hmm.
have that strong relationship with them, it's just kind of like feel like a relationship as well, like what happened to my previous client, but unfortunately they that thing happened with them. For me, it's just so valuable for me because they're the one who's actually paying for me. Like there's actually supporting me financially. So the only thing that you're going to give back to them is to just being honest, you know. So that's what I do every time. Like I have to be like, I love my job, so I love my client, so I gotta do my part as well for being an employee. Because they don't just treat us an employee, they treat us like a family. Even we're just new to their team, but we're already like a family to them.
Yeah, I love that. Love that for you totally. Having like client who really embrace you and teach you to like not only grow personally but also professionally.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you have and you mentioned you a while ago like you have outgrown really going outside and being like social out there. So now as like a young adult, if someone who's listening to us right now who is like in your same age range, like young adults, so what advice could give them to those who are aspiring to be a virtual assistant like you?
Of course, for the advice, I mean, if you're gonna ask me for a relationship advice, I'm not good with that because I need an advice as well from a relationship. But for as an I'm an independent contractor, like a virtual assistant, like if you're going to commit to a freelance world, the only thing and the only asset that you can offer to your client is your honesty. That's the really most important, and you really have to do your job, and no pretense, no lies, just pure intention, like pure communication. That's the communication of it all. Is just like a relationship, family or a partner, it's just the same thing. Like you gotta build the trust, and by doing that you gotta have to communicate with them. That's the only
Love
thing
that.
I could give y'all.
Love that. Very well said. And yeah, thank you so much for that, Ira. And before we proceed to our lightning round, let's have a quick commercial.
Ever dreamed of swapping your hectic office for a comfy home workspace? At Sphere Rocket VA, we make that dream a reality. Say goodbye to rush hours and hello to remote work. Enjoy more time with family, more time for yourself, all while building your career. Interested? Apply now at www.spherejobs.ph.
Okay, and we're back still here with Ira, and it's time for our lightning round. So, Ira, lightning round are just quick and fun questions. So, are you ready?
I'm so ready. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so which do you prefer, day off or bonus pay?
Both, maybe. I could not even really between
That's a
myself. I'll have also bonuses, but okay, so maybe I could choose the day off then. Right.
okay. Oh, okay. You changed your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is what is your favorite social media platform?
Yeah, I mean, I was really crazy about social media before. I'm still am, but maybe I could say 65% for now. I mean, I'm already 24. I'm not gonna be like very on social media. I don't post that much on social media. I just post my day if there's a day that's really inspired me. So I'm just gonna post it. It's gonna be Instagram, sure. Instagram is not really that mess like Facebook, but My Instagram still linked to my Facebook, but it's still the same. But yeah, I could say the Instagram.
Love that. All right. So next is voice or non-voice.
Both. That's what I do. I do both. I could do voice. I could
Yeah,
do
very holistic. I love that. And what is your go-to midnight snack?
That's the thing about me. That's why maybe I don't really that gain weight that much because I don't really eat that much. I drink coffee, sure, because that's what I do. I don't really like coffee, but that's the thing that could wake me up when I was working
Yeah,
because
I agree.
even if I already have this, I mean, good sleep for like 7 hours, but still you still have that nosy thing, and whenever you're working, like, you get to like, I'm nauseous, something like that. But so coffee. But my go-to snacks, if I'm not working, I don't really eat, because if I eat during work days, like during like this, I just, it just gets me in trouble because I fell asleep. So I don't do that. So, but whenever it's my time off, like I don't
Mhm.
even eat on my lunchtime. I just watch my anime, or maybe just,
Oh,
just go cuddle with my dog. But that's what I do. I don't really eat. But if for the favorite food, I really like samyang, the buldak
oh,
on for spicy food and all. That's what I do. That's what I
that's 3 times.
I don't do the 2 times. I don't even do the 2 times. I like the variant, which the cheese, the four cheese, the
Uh,
flavors. I don't really go to the three. I don't even.
yeah,
I've
that's
tried
crazy.
those, but I don't think I could even taste the noodles anymore. You could even feel your tongue when you're eating that 3 times. So I would go to the flavored ones, not with the 3 times spicy
Yeah,
coming out.
agree with that. Yes. And what is your dream country to visit?
Mexico. That's
Oh,
Acapulco.
interesting.
Chiapas Gutierrez. That's the name of the place. I mean,
What's
I've
something about
been,
in that place?
and that's Acapulco in Mexico. I've been dreaming about that place. Like, I was really used to watch telenovelas before. So
Mhm.
I'm really into like Mexican telenovela when I was a kid. So my mom used to watch it with me together. So that was like kinder, maybe I was 6 years old. I was fond of Mexicanos, like Latinos and all.
Mm,
But it's just like the fact that Mexico, I know Mexico is not really that great place, but for me it is. So that
mhm.
specific place, the Chiapas, the Acapulco Chiapas Gutierrez place, that's what I really dream to be in there. So,
What is something about that place that makes it special for you?
I mean, sure.
Place or a shooting place for your favorite
There's a
series?
lot of beaches in there. I know
Oh.
Philippines is amazing beaches as well, but I would as well like to go to another beaches, which that Acapulco place is really good. It feels like, I don't know. I mean, I've been to Bora Bora before, but some beaches in the Philippines. But I just wanted to explore some other country, which I never been into. But I know there's
Mhm.
a lot of country that I have to be into, like the most visited place. But I would really like to be in that place. I just wanted to be like feel, I don't know, maybe I was just really, criticize about the movies or the telenovelas that I've been watching. But I just want to be there. Like I want an experience. Maybe to with my partner someday I would go there.
Definitely.
Just feel the telenovela experience. Like that was like really my dream until now. That it never.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And lastly, one word to describe Sphere Rocket.
Sphere Rocket is a, okay, I would say generous and helpful company.
Love that. Love that. And yeah, before I wrap up this episode, Ira, I'm giving you the floor. If you want to give a shout out or express your gratitude to anyone, the floor is yours.
Of course. So yes, the only thing that I'm gonna be, shout out is gonna be my client. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dr. Z, for being a part of your company, also your team. I really appreciate that. Me and my other colleagues, me and my other VA as well. Like, we've been together. Maybe it's not gonna be for over a month, but still a month and counting, I would say. But I'm really grateful for you for being us, and then giving a chance to be part of your team. So that's just gonna be all.
Love that. Thank you so much, Ira. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much, Ira, for sharing your insights and experiences with us. And totally inspiring. And yeah, stay connected with us on social media, everyone. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Stay tuned for more exciting episode of Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Again, my name is Sweet, and until next time, stay positive, stay productive, and keep reaching for the stars.
Do you want to apply as a Sphere Rocket virtual assistant? Well, look no further because this video is for you. I will be telling you which requirements you will need to submit in order to apply to our new website, plus a few tips and tricks to help you with your initial interview. We have achieved a better way for you to send in your application, so let's begin. Step 1. Visit our website
at www.spherejobs.ph.
Step 2. Fill in the application by inputting your full name, email, number, and other questions that you will need to answer in order to move on to the next step. Step number 3. Send screenshots of your updated CV, Tony Robbins PDF result, internet speed screenshot with a minimum of 10 Mbps, a scanned copy of your government ID, and your portfolio with sample works. Step 4. Click the submit button and wait patiently for our email. Now here are some tips on how to stand out during your initial interview. Tip number 1. Dress up as if you were going to an in-person interview. Wearing something formal will give the interviewer a sign that you are serious about applying to this job role. Tip number 2. Find a quiet space where your interview will be held. There's nothing worse than getting distracted by the noise around you and not being able to understand what the interviewer is saying. Tip number 3. Be yourself and show up as confidently as you can. Know what you bring to the table and honor your worth. Interested in becoming a part of our team? Submit your application now
at www.spherejobs.ph.
Good luck!